Welcome back into this week's, and it is, believe it or not, Coach, this week's edition of Coach's Corner, our holiday extravaganza, fall recap, national tournament qualifier series. Is too many things to mention. Coach's Corner, Coach Walls, welcome back to Coach's Corner.
Thank you very much. I'm excited about this. Happy holidays to you. And boy, we've got a lot to talk about here, don't we? We do.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a show for 3 months. When Dylan refuses to have a show, everything backs up. I guess we should start with the congratulations to St. Xavier for the football title. I see you got your St. X stuff on there. So they won the high school football championship this year.
First time since 2009 or something. So it's been dominated by a rivals trinity for so long that it's nice to be back on top.
So hats off, or on in this case, to St. X for that. But more importantly, we're talking about Midway this week, Coach, and kind of a recap of the falls, just some fall results of the teams, some individual highlights as we head into the break here. And I don't want to alarm anybody, but believe it or not, I think we even have a women's volleyball segment this week.
It's unbelievable.
You could have knocked me over with a feather. I was even unaware that we had volleyball, as we've talked about, but I guess we do. And we had two great members of their team. Did a great interview. We'll talk to them a little bit in the second segment.
We had to get agents involved and lawyers and everything like that. But we finally came together to get everybody. They can finally appear on our show. A lot of legwork went into that. But I guess just we'll talk to those two later. But volleyball obviously did make our other team in the fall here that made the national tournament, came in, was the runner-up, lost in our River States Conference final match to Kokomo after beating them earlier in the year. Finished 24-5, had 5 all-conference performers. Coach Rima, Coach of the Year in the conference. We had the Freshman of the Year in the league. So just a great effort by volleyball in the first team we're wrapping up here in the fall. Just a historic season for them. Yeah. You had 13 academic all-conference players. Aubrey Koster and Alicia Tuller, first team, Mariana Rodriguez, Kaylee Criswell, Brooke Trompler, Valerie Ramos, second team, with Chrissy Cummins becoming the Champions of Character winner. So what was their record? How'd they finish?
24-5.
24-5
overall. Yeah, great year for them. Aubrey, I think, also won the freshman. She was the Freshman of the Year.
Aubrey won Freshman of the Year. Yep.
Yeah, a record-setting year for women's volleyball. Really excited for them, and should hopefully have a good group coming back to try to improve on that next fall. So excellent. What we talk about in terms of the other true fall sports, the sports that are just fall based. Coach, I know you want to talk about both your team and women's soccer. How did it go on the pitch this fall?
Yeah, we had a good year. It's the best record we've had. We finished 7-8 in the season. COVID kind of cut out some games for us this year, and then me getting sick. But we had 12 academic all-conference players. Andrew McAnally was Champions of Character. Unes Sajani was first team all-conference as a freshman. I think he finished third in the nation in scoring this year. He tied for first in our conference. And if you haven't seen this kid play, he can play. I mean, he can flat out play. So, we played like 7 freshmen. We started like 7 freshmen this year. So it's going to be exciting. Going to be real exciting. Women's soccer finished 9th, 5-10 overall. I truly believe watching them play, they're probably one top player from really going over the hump. They, in the past, they've had a couple really good goal scorers. I think they were missing it this year, but overall, good team, fun to watch. Just need a player or two to get over the hump. They had 12 academic all-conference players, with Abigail Green being their Champions of Character.
Well, Coach, I've said numerous times that my team is only about a player away, but unfortunately, that player is LeBron James. But I think it's a little better in soccer. Soccer, I think I think you're right. They were right around it there, obviously, for women's soccer. So we're excited to see what they do in the future. And then cross country, we mentioned last week. We mentioned the men won the conference, had a great campaign. We do, as promised, we wanted to follow up on the results from Texas. There was no Supreme Court challenges to Texas's marathon results this year. There was no voting irregularities or timing issues. And sure enough, Jacob Cossacks did qualify for the National NI Marathon. So congrats to him. Must have been all that maple syrup that fueled them. Reached it by just under a minute, I think. Reached the qualifying time by under a minute. So congrats to him and to that program. Women's cross country, I think, had a pretty solid season overall. They were coming off obviously a championship the previous year, so things are going well in the running sports.
Oh yeah,
I've always said that about soccer. You're just out there running around. So the teams that are running, I think, seem to be doing pretty well. And obviously volleyball did. How about? I know you had some things you wanted to mention about archery, which we haven't really talked about much on the show. How did the archery campaign start for us?
Yeah, so I spoke to Coach Shea last week. He was talking about his team went down to the 3D USA Archery Nationals down in Foley, Alabama. There was 2 divisions, the bow hunter division and the recurve division, I guess.
Of course. Yeah. We got to do that.
Yeah. They finished 9th of the team. They missed the team round by 7 points. This is probably the best. They said everybody scored better than they did in the regionals. They scored better in nationals than they did in regionals. Cassidy Evans, Brianna Carroll, Liz Ashcraft, all did very well, with Brooke Johnson finishing 30th out of 67, which is good. And then in the recurve, I'm going to mess up the name. Michelani Rivalsi showed very well in there. So again, he wanted me to make sure that everybody knew that from regionals to the nationals, all their scores got better and they improved. And they have a lot of good things going their way in archery.
Yeah. Take an aim in the spring here. Take an aim for the spring campaign. Excellent for archery. Golf, I know that, they obviously will be back in action here in the spring for their traditional season, but they did have their fall season, and both Coach Smith is just, as usual, getting it done over there. Both men and women's golf won the River States Conference preview meet.
Right. Yeah. On the men's side, we finished the top 3 finishers: Logan Kahn, Hayes Mason, Cameron Turner, all finished with a top 3. Elliott Smith tied for 6th, and Chase Taylor tied for 8th. So you had 7 players in the top 10, which is fantastic.
Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah. On the women's side, let's see here. Emily Hill, Jenna Lewis were named on the all tournament team. And then they won the TWU Fall Invitational with Emily Hill winning the tournament. Bree Russell tied for 2nd. Jenna Lewis finished 7th, and Sydney Beard finished 12th.
That's great. So that team keeps rolling along. They will again. Both teams coming off a nationals appearance last year, and they'll be heading into the spring tournaments. It seems like at a pretty high level. So that's great.
Where do you think Coach Smith keeps all these trophies?
It can't be in the. I've seen the size of your offices, and it can't be in there. So I don't know. I'm not sure. They're probably built. That's probably what all that new construction is.
That's probably what it is.
A new wing for the golf trophies. We're actually going to. Well, that's a tease. We call it in the business a tease. We're going to talk a little bit about new construction in our 3rd segment here on campus. But that's great. Bowling's had some really good results. I know. We've had four individual bowlers of the week in the Mid-South Conference. Caleb Marshall has won twice, and then Zach Dickerson and Zach Halstead each have been named bowler of the week in the Mid-South. And on the female side, with Taylor Petrie and Afton Lords have both also been named bowler of the week. So Coach Hall's squad is just rolling along there.
Yeah, they'll pick up January 8th and 9th. They're going down to Smyrna, Tennessee for the Brandon Burns Memorial. So, and then the Mid-South Conference Championships for February 10th, 11th, and 12th down in Bowling Green.
Well, approprially enough, in Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, right.
when do they go to the Super Bowl? Isn't that up in? I think that was the event they went to last year, the Super Bowl. I can't wait for that. Swimming. Women beat Union. I know recently the men have been plugging away there. But we did want to acknowledge the swimming campaign has started. Esports went to their playoffs for the first time in their 2nd year of competition here. Dylan's didn't have much information as to what that was, so I'm going to blame him for that. But I do know Coach Tinker was posting on social media, very, very excited that they made the tournaments, the playoffs. So I know they have another. They're kind of a 2-semester deal, so they'll pick up again here when we get back. Meanwhile, in the equestrian arena, which is obviously a big deal, Western has had a good start. Nathan Sparron former Coach's Corner alum here, was on the show a couple years ago. He's been the reserve high point rider on 3 occasions so far. And I think they've only had 3 actual events. And then on the female side, and the hunt seat side, I should say, they were the reserve high point team at the Miami shows, Miami of Ohio. They didn't get to go to the Miami of Florida shows.
No,
but maybe next year. And Caden Gundry and Elliot Baker were both reserve high point team in that event. So they're going to have some home shows coming up here in I think the West. One of them's January and one's the first week of February. We'll get back to you with that information, but I know that's an event that I always try to get to, just something unique here on campus. And
I say it all the time that when we bring recruits on, the most interesting thing about Midway is having the horses and the equestrian and stuff like that. And that's probably one of those things that everybody asks me about when I speak to them.
For sure. And it's all the same here. And it's one of the things that I never have an answer for, because I struggle to understand. I'm trying to understand it. I really am. And we'll be back up there, in a couple months there, and to support the horses, and the students, of course, but support the horses for sure. So I think that's kind of the fall wrap up, Coach. I know it's been a busy fall out here. Tennis had some fall matches. I know they're going to we have a new coach, Coach Adam Malik, who joined us, former Davis Cup player from Malaysia, I believe.
Manchester United fan too.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. More importantly, and he's been great. Had a chance to discuss some stuff with him a couple times. I've seen him. We're all so busy. It's hard, here in the fall. But we did get a chance to talk. Did get a chance to talk to Coach Malik. We'll have them on there in the spring when they get closer to their traditional season. But I know we resurfaced our tennis courts 3 through 6 out there. We have brand new courts for this spring's campaign, and it's just all in all a really good fall, I think, here on campus for Midway.
Yeah, no. One more thing, wrestling had a really good fall too. Went 3-0 in the first ever River States Conference duels, beating West Virginia Tech, Ohio Valley, and Rio Grande. They whooped them too. And then receiving votes, they beat Texas Wesleyan, and receiving votes Bluefield, they hammered them 57-0. So
yeah, they had a good showing down at Lindsey Wilson. I think they're
Lindsey Wilson, right? So. Yeah,
they're on break. They'll be heading back come back about the same time we do. So excited to see what Coach Brumble's group has going for him this year. So I'm sure we missed something there. It's not our fault. We're going to completely blame Dylan if we did, but we kind of just wanted to give you a snapshot of what it was like here on campus for the fall. Coming back next, though, we are going to again continue our 2-part series for fall national qualifier teams. Women's volleyball is here. We're going to talk to them a little bit about their campaign and their team going forward right after this. Welcome back here to Coach's Corner, and this is indeed the show that is at least 2 years in the making, Coach. We've been trying to get women's volleyball on Coach's Corner for the better part of 2.5 years now, and even though Coach Rima declined to join us yet again, and don't think we won't still kill her for that, we were able to through the strong efforts of producer Tim Walls, we're able to get 2 of our starting players from this past year's history-making squad, Mariana Rodriguez, a junior from Houston, Texas, and Brooke Trompler, a sophomore from Campton, Kentucky, both all-conference performers for us this year, graciously agreed to take some time out of their holiday season and join us here. Ladies, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming on. Fresh off such a great season for your team. Both of you, have been with the program now. This is at least your second year. Coming in from last year, you had some success last year in the COVID year, but this year kind of all came together. What do you think was the key for your team this year, kind of getting over the hump and getting into the national tournament and making a run that you did?
Well, obviously a lot of things need to go towards Coach. A lot of thanks to her. She's definitely the one that pulls us together, who recruits us, makes the practices for us. But then a lot of credit also needs to go towards the entire team as a whole and pushing us every single practice and being extremely competitive, extremely selfless, and just always wanting more and never being satisfied until we go all the way, and just pushing the limits. Like, you think you had a limit and then you really don't. You just go all the way. And I really have to commend Coach and all the girls for that.
Well, that's too bad. I was hoping it was somebody else's fault. That's all right. Brooke, what do you think?
No, I have to completely agree with Maddie, because coach is always like, all right, ladies, let's practice on what we need to be practiced. And like, whenever we do go to practices, we're always working together. We're always helping each other out. And like Maddie said, we keep reaching our limit. And then once we beat it, we're like, oh, wait, we can actually do this. And then we just keep going. So it's kind of like a whole team effort into like getting to where we're at today. It's really nice.
Yeah. So last week we spoke to a couple of the runners in the cross country, and they were talking about how their team chemistry was a big part of their success. And they said that no matter what they did, they were always having fun. How was your team chemistry all through the year?
Oh my gosh.
We are always like together on and off the court. Like no one has problems. We're always like with each other. If we need help with classes or anything, like I know I can talk to Maddie if she needs to help me. And everyone's just always talking and like helping each other out. And it's actually like a great family, honestly. Like we became such a big family with this sport, and I couldn't be like more grateful for that. And like our chemistry together is so well that we just play so good on the court.
Yeah, I just know a lot of girls live together. I think that's a huge part of it. And just you're with each other all the way from the very beginning of August until, we went all the way to nationals. So we were together every single day for a minimum of at least 3 hours a day. And you're eating together, you're doing these bus rides together, you're in the hotels together. It's a lot of time for team bonding. And I think the girls really did a great job with that, especially with COVID regulations. I think it gives us more of a chance to bond with each other because you don't want to take risks seeing other people outside of your team. And so you're kind of, I don't want to use the word forced, but you're with your team more so than you would be any other time. And I think that was a great opportunity for us. And you can see that translate onto the court.
Now, your team had a really good start to the year. You won your first 7 matches. You dropped one, and then you won I think it was 15 of 16, down the stretch, including 10 in a row. So I don't know if this question applies really to your team, but was what sort of adversity did you overcome, or did you hit a point where you beat Kokomo at home, which was a huge win, I know, for you guys. What were some of the key points of the year where you felt like this team is a little different than last year? This team is a team that can really kind of reach the heights that we want to.
I guess it would have to do with the lineup. Constantly putting in every player to get their chance in to see what they can do on the court. I really have to commend our setters, especially Val. I think our setters really bring us together, and they have to have their connections with their hitters, but just never complaining about the dig, because that's my job as libero, is just get the ball up for them. And the fact that they never complain about the pass, they never complain about they dig, they just go out there and they do it. And just seeing that no one complains on the court, that everyone just wants to win no matter what role that they are playing. And it definitely has to do with selflessness and attitude, just wanting to win and wanting the best for the team and for the program as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. And like whenever we did beat Kokomo at home, we were like, oh my gosh, we can do this. Like we can keep going. Like let's go as far as we can. And I think that winning that game, we really all saw ourselves like we can do this. We can make it to nationals and we can win. So I think that we all believe in each other, like everyone on and off the court, the people on the benches, the people who's playing right beside us. We were always like, we got this. We have each other's back. So I feel like that helped us get to where we were this year.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you a general volleyball question right now. With the University of Louisville making the Final Four, and you guys making a national tournament, it seems like right now volleyball as a sport is really taking off. Mm-hmm. Like I came into, with your old sport being the same time as ours, it's hard for me to get to a lot of your games, stuff like that. But when I did walk in there, that atmosphere was crazy. The gym was loud, people were going nuts. Why is it that volleyball right now is really taking off? It just seems like it's becoming that sport. My son's 15 years old. He's playing for his high school team here, and so why is it that you think the volleyball is catching on so big with fans around the area?
I know that men's volleyball is definitely growing, especially in Kentucky. They're giving men more opportunities to be able to play the sport instead of at just a recreational level, which I think is amazing. I know for the school wise, we had invited so many people to come. I just remember for weeks, like at least 2 or 3 weeks, everyone was saying, come out to this Kokomo game. We need your support. So I thought it had a lot to do with school spirit and making those connections with people and asking them to come out and support us mentally, because volleyball is a very, very mental game, and you need the camaraderie, you need the chemistry, but you also need the atmosphere to be able to play in it. And I know that the people at our school definitely gave us that opportunity to play at that high of a level and get us hyped up and bring the energy out into the gym. But on a national level, I think, social media definitely does a really great job at doing that. You're having like the NCAA Instagram posting all the time, posting videos. And I just think whenever you give people who have never played before the opportunity to play, they see about how much fun it is and how cool it is that you're, just slamming a ball to the ground or making a beautiful set. And I definitely know that we had a lot of people come out and say, oh, wow, like I never knew volleyball could be so much fun just watching. And when you're watching someone that you really like and that's your friend, it makes it even more exciting and it draws interest into them. So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Anything to add there, Brooke, or did she steal your answer?
She's mostly got it, but I can also say like Midway is mostly like all sports school. So like everyone's always on campus and everyone's watching each other play. So I feel like it's like, we all go to the same school, like I'll support you and you can support me, and like everyone's just always like with each other around Midway, because it's such a small campus, everyone knows everyone and you're friends with everyone. So like when they come watch you, you're like, oh, that's sweet, like I'm gonna go watch you. So that's pretty much how it is, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think your all's personalities too. I've known you guys, we've gotten to be a little bit closer this year with me catching COVID and you guys sending the video to, send me support and stuff, which I'm extremely grateful. But I got to know you guys as athletes this year. And I think your personalities really helped fans want to come and support you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you guys have that personality where people want to come out and want you guys to succeed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that the team, to me, I felt this year really right from the start when I watched the team, and we obviously have more of a window on that since we're practicing around the same times and watching some of the matches together. I know a lot of our guys go to the matches and vice versa. And I felt this year's team was a little more, I said locked in last week. I don't know if that's what it was, but there was definitely a greater sense of togetherness, I thought, out there this year. And not to say the other teams were bad, but I just thought there was something a little different this year. There were some different pieces and the talent level had improved some. And I thought that, was hand in hand, what goes hand, like Coach said, I think it's an easy group to root for, for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, ladies, you guys are both have another year to come if I'm to play, if I'm correct, right? Coming back. So what, and I know you'll lose some pieces, you'll bring some back. And what do you think? What do you two would identify as some of the things you need to work on for next year to continue this level of success, or maybe take the next step and get into the national tournament again and maybe advance around?
Keeping the chemistry is definitely important. Bringing in girls who have the same attitude as us, who have the same mindset and goal, is that we're here to compete and we're here to win, and we don't accept any less. And, we're going to win some, lose some, but when we lose, we're going to make a change and we're not going to let it bring us down completely. We're going to go as far as we can all the way. And now that we know that we can make it to nationals, let's win the whole thing this time. If we got it to the first round, let's change and go all the way.
Super. Well, as you know, we Coach, we have some we have viewers. Believe it or not, there are some viewers of this thing. I know it's hard to believe, but there are. And we asked them for some questions, and we had a couple people write in with some volleyball questions. From Craig in Iowa. Craig in Iowa has a question.
Big fan.
All the way from Iowa. What was your favorite moment or win during the season? And it could be on the court, could be off the court. What was each of yours favorite moment or win during the year?
Brooke, you want to go first?
Yeah, mine was probably definitely Kokomo. for sure. And like whenever we got the last point, like even the people in the stands came up and we all just got a big dog pile. I was like, oh, this is the right moment right here. That was probably my happiest moment. Yeah.
I think mine was definitely East in the semifinals. It was just a repeat from last year. You know, last year we had lost to East at their home court, and had we beaten them, we would have also gone to nationals. But this time, oh my gosh, I think we were down at like 9 points at one point. It was incredible how we came back. You know, we were losing so terribly that entire first set, but no one was thinking about it. Like, I don't even remember looking at the scoreboard. I had to look back at it, and I was like, man, we just like beat them. We kicked their butts. And then I look back at the video, I'm like, that was not it at all. We had to like literally crawl out of the ground just to get that win. And I just remember we beat them the first set, and I was like, oh my God, we beat them. And then I just started getting like angry because I was like, I want this so bad. And then we were 24-21. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just know nobody had a doubt in their mind. Because like sometimes when you get to that point where they're just 1 point to getting the set or getting the win, it's just like, man, like, you know, your shoulders are down, your head is down. But I just know everybody wanted that fight in them. And we had practiced that so much in practice. Absolutely hate that drill. Brooke and I absolutely hate that drill. But, you know, coach, it works. You know, you get in situations like that. And then whenever I just knew, I think it was like 24-20, I was like, I just felt it in my heart. I was like, oh my God, we're about to win. We're about to go to nationals. And then we won the point, and I just like broke down crying. I was like, oh my God, we're going to nationals. Like, I was just crying in the locker room, and it was just a surreal moment. I didn't care about anything else. That was top like 5 moments in my life.
You just gave me goosebumps.
I know, I'm about to cry just thinking about it that we did it. It was so cool.
The other question we had was from the Eagles Roost in Midway. I wonder who that is. It's nameless, but the Eagles Roost. They would like to know, if volleyball were to have a tailgate, what food would you request to be served? A little personal interest question here. What would you want the Eagles Roost to make if we were able to get a tailgate together for volleyball?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
We ask the hard-hitting questions here.
Yeah, we're top-notch journalists here.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. My death row meal, like if it was my last meal, it has to be street tacos. But like eating heavy before a volleyball game, that would be tough. But I would want like tacos there, you know, a little taco stand out.
I think it's kind of a post-game thing.
Yeah, it's you can eat it afterwards.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah, let's have like a taco truck out there. Let's do that for sure. Oh my gosh. I would like a sushi bar. That would be awesome. Just sushi coming out on a train.
Well, now we might be going a little bit over budget.
Out of the creek.
Yeah. That's right. They have those in soccer. Yeah, we fish it out with all the soccer balls down there.
Oh.
Brooke, how about you?
Oh, I definitely agree with the sushi part. But I'm a big fan of steak, so I don't know.
All right.
Ooh.
Surf and turf.
Surf and turf. That's right.
I like it. Okay. Well, that's great. That's exciting. I really want to thank Mariana and Brooke for again taking some time to join us here. We didn't think we were going to ever get volleyball. In fact, I've been saying for 2 years now, I didn't really even know we had women's volleyball because they wouldn't come on the show. But now, so it's great that you guys joined us, and obviously, really, just so much, so exciting. Our department was really excited for you guys making the tournament. Congratulations on your year and all your individual and team success, and we're looking forward to a big fall next year. No pressure, but we're looking forward to another great year for volleyball.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll be right back after this with, we think, if he took the time to join us this week, FaceTime with Dylan. And back we are here on Coach's Corner with yet another installment of the segment that nobody asked for, yet everybody somehow seems to want. The segment you didn't know you needed. FaceTime with Dylan. Dylan, welcome back in for 2 weeks in a row to Coach's Corner. How you hanging? Are you holding on okay here? I know that's a big workload for you.
That is. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm quite ready, but we'll see. Well, I hope I'm ready. If not, I might have to make a call to the bullpen. I don't know.
Well, good to see. Or it's the arm barn, right? Isn't that what you want to call it, the arm barn?
Yeah, the arm barn, not the bullpen.
They don't want that's insensitive to bulls, I think.
Yeah.
well, we'll see. So Dylan, welcome back in. It's the holiday season here.
Happy holidays, guys.
Yeah, we've we've had we've been out of class here now for a couple weeks now, and I know there was one academic thing that you wanted to touch on that you've been working day and night on the last few days.
Yeah, the semester, I guess it's semi-annual. Is that when it is? Is that twice a year?
I think semi-annual is correct.
Semi-annual. It comes
biannual would be every other year. So
every other year.
Semi-annual.
So at the end of each semester, we put together an athletic director's honor roll. We've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years now, I believe. We put together a list and compile, and we try and get together all the kids that have above a 3.0 for the fall semester. Only for the fall semester. It's not cumulative GPA. It's only for the fall semester. We have a record number of we absolutely crushed the record by nearly 40 students, 369 students above a 3.0 for the fall semester.
Wow. Well done.
I am continually amazed at our academic performance.
Continually amazed. And then also we have 184 student athletes above a 3.6 GPA.
Wow.
So that number's a little misleading, because we also have grad students who don't count towards dean's list, since grad students don't have a dean's list. So we actually would really have 194 is what we have, 194 above a 3.6, and then we have 77 student athletes with the perfect 4.0. So
woo.
Well,
that's big time.
That's high. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I know that's one of the things that we preach. I know Coach does as well, and all the coaches do here is, our academic performance. You're here for school, first, and that's something that I think guys on our team and most of our athletes here in the college really take pride in, and focus on the big picture and be succeeding not only in their sport, but also where it counts here in the classroom.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 teams above a 3.0 as well. So that's a big number. And then a 3.13 as the department whole for
that's
the
terrific.
GPA. So
3.1, and it's not like the numbers of athletes are going down. We've increased the last few years. So that's that's great to see that we've maintained our consistent academic performance.
For anybody that performs in a sport and then also does it in the classroom, that's incredible. Like we talked about with our show, on the fields, on the courts, very successful, off the field, in the classroom. Now everybody's successful there too. So it's tough. It's tough being a college athlete, and these kids should be proud of themselves.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. So, and Dylan, you'll be releasing those names here.
Yes, today. We're taping this on Wednesday. We're gonna try and get out Coach's Corner as well later today, as Wednesday for a Wednesday reveal. So that's the plan.
Excellent.
That's the plan.
Excellent. So
you got time, Dylan?
Yeah, you may already have read this list by the time you see the video. That's great.
That's for sure.
And this is something else we wanted to touch on, Dylan, that we didn't get to do last week, but we had kind of an announcement out of the main campus, so to speak, a couple weeks ago regarding a facility project that we're
absolutely
working on here.
Absolutely. So across from Hunter Fieldhouse, we have kind of diagonal from it, we have Keeneland Barn. Keeneland Barn is a little older, and it would be a lot for them to repair and refurbish. It's
the vintage building here.
Good word. Good word. Very vintage. So we're going to tear down Keeneland Barn, and
we are.
Yeah. I didn't get that memo. Hold on. What time do I have to be out there?
Who knows? The way we go sometimes, it might be me and Robbie Shea. If there's something that needs to be built, it's probably being built by me and Robbie Shea. So
good.
The tearing down Keeneland Barn, we're going to build a new barn out near the Equine Center. that would be designed for classroom use as well, for the equine. So I know equine's happy about that. And then also we're going to, where Keeneland is, we're going to have a turf field and a track. So so that would be a great addition. I know Coach Walls, I'm sure Coach Walls is excited to talk about that.
Well, yeah, you know who's not excited are all the athletes and all the teams that are going to be running on the track now. I think that's who is not excited about that. Maybe track and field is excited, but some of us who may try to make use of that track in the off season, those athletes may not be all that excited. But that's great news. I think just further evidence, we continue to grow and try to improve the athletic situation here at Midway, and so it's great to see that commitment. Coach talked about our student athletes' commitment in trying to do the best they can in both in his classroom and on the courts and the fields. That has been met, by our administration on the other side, trying to meet the commitment to, improve our facilities. So
board of trustees buying into it, and everybody getting behind it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
not only, first the field house and the baseball diamond and the improvements we've had over here in McManus. And so that's the next piece in that. And that's it'll be much needed, it will certainly be much needed. And it'll be, I'm sure that I look forward to whoever's in charge of scheduling that facility, dealing with that. So that should be exciting for whoever's given that response.
I'm out.
Well, we have some questions. We had some coaches.
But do you want to talk about the Overwatch? You want to talk about Overwatch? Cover that again.
Well, we do that. That's a good point. Before we do that, we do want to make just a peek behind the curtain here on Coach's Corner. We don't, if I'm being honest, we don't always go in with the level of preparation we might need. But the esport team that made the playoffs this year was what, Dylan?
Overwatch. They got a win too. First playoff win in program history. Congratulations.
Who did we beat? Do we have that much information? Who did we beat?
You're asking too much.
We don't know. It's on a screen or something, isn't it? We don't actually know who we're playing.
The virtual win. Right. Overwatch. So that's, and then they first in program history. So congrats to them. Yeah. Congrats to Overwatch. And that means we have another. Do we have another? So we play. What do we play next? League of Legends, or how does that work? Rocket League.
I think we'll restart all four of them. Overwatch, Rocket League.
What's the fourth?
Overwatch, League of Legends, and then there's one other one. What's the other one?
Fortnite. We playing Fortnite yet?
Fortnite, no. I don't know. This is terrible TV here.
We'll get back to that too. It's kind of a cliffhanger. It's kind of a cliffhanger, Dylan. You're a fan of reality TV. You have to tune in next time to find out what the fourth one is.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's
all right. Well, we did have some
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. Yeah, we do have some questions. The first one, Craig and I chimed back in. Well, he has two questions. So the first one is Coach, and somehow he must have got a live feed of this show. I don't know how he did that, but the first question is Coach Walls starting a culinary major? He must see you're in your kitchen. He wants to know if you're back.
I am.
Do we have culinary arts as a major now?
We are. This was trying to be my Christmas theme back here with the with the little plant and the thing.
Okay.
But yeah, behind the scenes, I haven't progressed enough for a background yet. So you get to see my inside of my life, and this is behind the scenes of my kitchen.
You'll get, as I said earlier, it makes you much more relatable. So I think it's great. But the other question from Tim is, how is recruiting for soccer going? And what do you as a coach and team concentrate on during the spring to be ready for the fall season?
Recruiting, I haven't started. No, it's actually going really well. We've been talking to some internationals, trying to get them in. Our Kentucky kids are really, we've had a lot of visits. We've had a lot of offers out there. Kids are waiting until after Christmas to make their decisions, but it's going to be a good class again. I like the kids that have interest in our program. And again, we were young last year. So I think I'm really excited about this, honestly. I'm at a point right now where my recruiting class is fun. I enjoy talking to the kids. So,
that's good to say.
And then in the spring, we'll develop a little bit of basic skills. It'll be tough with the weather. We'll be in Hunter Field House probably until late February, I would say, which is where the turf field's really going to help us. Because being on that grass field just stays soggy. We can't get on it. But once we get that turf field, we'll be able to start training mid-January and stuff like that. So But that's basically where we'll be. We'll be working on basic skills, just trying to get our freshmen, our young players, a little bit more experience.
Excellent. Dylan, what else you got? There's some other ones that you wrote in. I think we had some questions.
Jan and PA.
Okay.
Says congrats on the win against St. Mary of the Woods.
This must be for me.
Basketball.
Or Coach Minner. I don't know.
How do you keep the guys focused on before they return to the court on January 6th? How do you keep them engaged and focused over that 3-week period?
Well, yeah, it is a long break. I mean, it's not every year we've had a break sort of this length. We'll come back right around New Year's. So it's about 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks off from actual activity. Now we might have there might be a schedule announcement to release here soon, Dylan. I'm springing this on you. So I don't want to give you any, and I don't want to let it slip because it's not official yet, but we may actually have something before the 6th that that kind of shortens that window a little bit. But if it does develop, I'm sure Dylan, watch Go Midway Eagles on Twitter. They'll be the first to let you know. I'm sure Dylan will be very excited about
this is what they call in the production business a tease
about more work. He'd be excited about further work. But
does it have anything to do with Rick Pitino? I heard he's looking for games.
No, it does not. That's all I can say right now. But no, so it is a long break, and we had a pretty good first semester. I think the feeling in our group is the best it's been in a little while anyway. I mean, I felt like we kind of won the games we were supposed to and dropped a couple we could have had. So we got 2 really difficult games, maybe the 2 best teams on the other side, right out of the gate on the road. Mm-hmm. So the schedule maker, as we said last week, the schedule makers didn't really help us out much. But it's so hopefully the guys are doing, we gave them a plan, do what they need to do to stay in shape. And we'll come back, like I said, around New Year's and really ramp up. And we've always done that. Every year we've done that. And, usually we've come out and we've had some success that first game. Each year we've come back. So this is the plan we've used. We're going to do it again. And hopefully we're ready to go out at Rio Grande on the 6th. But I'd be lying to you if I wasn't, a little concerned about, what's going on back there at home. That's always our guys are pretty responsible. And I think, especially now with the family gatherings and the new, the variant, whatnot out there, it's we just want to make sure everybody gets back healthy and ready to go in shape on when they come back.
Yeah, absolutely. There was also a second part to that question. Any word on one of your key pieces from a couple years ago, DJ Lujan? He's been sidelined with an injury. Any word on when he might be able to come back?
Yeah, so DJ he tore his ACL after the second game of last year, which is just horrible for him. He was having a great preseason. Yeah, looked really good. And so he's been out, over a year now. He's actually practiced some non-contact stuff, this semester. His timeline has been a little longer than some ACLs. And he kind of expressed to me right before we left that he felt that when we got back, he thought he might be ready to jump into practice, full bore. So that's what we're hoping for. But with those, you got to listen to your body, and we're all hoping. DJ, he's in there. He's in the training room every day. It means a lot to him. He's a great kid, just an outstanding student.
He's a great kid.
He's a great Midway person. Somebody who really represents as well. So for his sake and for our sake as a team, I hope that's the case and he can get back out there. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully he's in good shape when he comes back and he can start progressing and doing some more stuff and maybe make something out of his last year here. Hopefully.
Yeah, he's a kid you cheer for. He's a kid that you want to see come back. I've had him in class and see him around campus. Like you say, he's a great Midway person.
Yep, for sure.
Great kid. One other question from Coach Mason in Danville. Coach,
okay, all right.
Would you, Coach Kravensky, would you happen to know who this is?
Coach Greg Mason from Center College, who's won many more games than all of us combined. I think he's one of the great coaches in the country at the Division III level, and can't say enough about him. He is a real coach and does a really good job. Works really hard. So yes, very familiar with Coach Mason.
Yeah, he says, what happened to your defense when you played against Greenville? Also, did you have a game plan Like, or what? What?
Well, truthfully, I think we did a great job to hold them to 135. First, yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Greenville University in Illinois, we played them in the Georgetown Classic over Thanksgiving, and they play the Grinnell style. For those of you that look it up, for those of you who don't know, but they basically they shoot like 63s a game, and they try to give you layups so they can get the ball back to shoot 3. And they sub 5, they platoon, so they sub 5 people at a time, like every 30 or 40 seconds. And they did that, and we had prepared for it. And Coach Mason is pointing that out because I had talked to him. They had played them a couple years ago, and I looked it up. They won 132-113. So I guess their defense was a little better than ours. But maybe on the flip side, our offense is
high octane.
But yeah, so we actually had a conversation with him the week leading to the game. Just kind of asking him, because we had never played against something like that. And I had once back in Vermont against Castleton State. They didn't do it exactly what Greenville did, but it was similar. So I had a little experience, but our guys had none about it. And he kind of shared a few things that worked for them. And it was a very helpful conversation. So we didn't talk much about defense, as you can tell. There wasn't much of a plan at that end. But no, that game was, as I've told a couple people, it was sort of like tennis out there. I was just kind of like back and forth. You couldn't really keep up with anything. It was I almost walked out of there with a neck brace, whiplash. It was something else. The game's probably still online on the Georgetown site if you want to check it out. It's like nothing you've ever seen, and you really have to. It was fun, especially since we won. It was fun to experience it once, but boy, I don't think I'd want to try to prepare for that every day. But so we did it. We had a plan that I don't know how well we executed or not, but. We had more than them. As a coach I used to know, Tom Crowley, used to say, blow them out by 1. So that's what we did. As long as we win by 1, that's a blowout in my book.
That's right.
We got it. So yeah, it was an interesting game for sure. But best wishes to Center College this winter and Coach Mason. He again can't say enough about the job he does there, and I'm sure they're going to be looking forward to a big year in his conference.
Yep,
absolutely.
So I think we've exhausted the questions, Dylan, and we've exhausted the viewers talking about all this stuff.
Hold on, I got questions for you too before we go.
For holiday. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, Coach, go ahead.
All right, so let's ask you this holiday season. We're all going to sit around and watch a little TV. What are your favorite Christmas shows? Is there anything you look forward to?
That's a good question, Dylan. You're the TV guy here. What's your question? What's your
I'm a movie guy. I want to give me some Home Alone. He's that always makes me laugh. I'm always busting out laughing watching
Joe
that.
Pesci.
And then classic. You got to go with the Christmas Story. You got to.
Oh yeah.
Red Rising.
Is that still on a loop on like TBS or TNT?
I think it is.
It is.
I think it is.
And I recruited up in Cleveland. I don't know, 2 years ago.
Did you go to the house?
Made it a point to went to the house.
Do they have the lamp in there?
Yeah, the lamps in the window. Yeah, lamps in the window. They got
a major award.
Yeah, the whole thing. It's crazy. It's in an actual like neighborhood. It's like it's not like a movie set. It's an actual house in a neighborhood. There's neighbors next to them and everything.
How about that? I think there's only 2 real answers. I think Dylan, you're on the little younger side. Some of us with more experience would tell you there's only 2 correct answers to this question. You can pick either one, but there's only 2. It's Frosty.
Yep.
Frosty or the Charlie Brown Christmas Special.
Oh yeah.
Those are the only answers you can go wrong.
Can't go wrong with those.
And I obviously lean toward the Charlie Brown Christmas Special. So that is my answer. If that's on, you got to watch it. That's your homework out there, everybody. Speaking of homework, everybody's taking a break from homework here with the semester break, but we'll be back for the student athletes. Well, I'm sure you're watching the show. If you're not watching the show, what are you doing? What are you doing out there?
What are you doing?
Really?
But our semester again starts up January 10th. So you're going to want to watch your email out there for all the protocols, the testing regimens. If you're not vaccinated, those sort of things that are going to be required for you to return to campus, on January 9th and 10th to start classes. And some of our athletes, the basketball and wrestling, I know, and some others will be back here before that. There'll be some things to do before that. But before you know it, we'll be back in the second semester, Coach.
They got to live up to a high standard. They raised the bar academically. Now they got to, and on the field, the fall sports have raised the bar. So
it's true.
It's up to everybody else to keep it going.
You hear that, Dylan?
That's
right.
Got to
keep it going. You got to raise the bar with Coach's
Raise the bar.
So we will definitely, we are committed to being back here, probably right around the time the semester starts. We'll have another episode. We'll talk. We'll preview some of the upcoming. We'll talk about maybe some winter sports and preview some of the fall, some of the spring sports in their preseason as they get ready to go. In the spring of 22.
December 30th. That we kick off the second semester. December.
That's
30th.
true. Yeah, we have women's basketball at home.
December 30th.
On December 30th. But Dylan, I'm just telling you, just brace yourself for maybe an earlier kickoff than that. That's all I'm going to say right now. But until then, everybody, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas. And we will see you in 2022 on the corner.